All right, most cringe seventh grade moment.
Cringe seventh grade moment was my hair because that was like really short and it didn't vibe really well with my personality and my nature. And so like I feel like that set me back for a couple of years in the future of my career. You know what I'm saying?
Like not having any friends the whole year. That might be more sad than cringe, but
Seventh grade moment. Seventh grade play. I was in my seventh grade play. I was starring alongside Durga and Cerulean and Lucia, and I believe somebody had an onstage kiss, and the whole tension in CT class was off the charts. It was pretty funny.
I think it's got to be this one scene from my seventh grade. We did this show called Robin Hood. I had this scene where I died. It was kind of cringe.
My dating choices. Yeah, no more to say about that.
I don't know about cringe, but maybe most embarrassing. It was like a seventh grade basketball game. We like running down the court, and I airballed the shot like 30 feet to the right of the backboard, and it was terrible.
So I remember when I was in seventh grade, I sat in the senior steps and I got called up by a senior. And I remember I was pretty pissed off about it because I thought like, oh, the entire courtyard should be for everyone. But I remember later on, I guess you learn later on that it's a tradition that it's only for seniors. Like there's a reason why like it's a special place. And I think that was just thinking back, I'm just like, man, I should not have like gotten mad.
What's your favorite memory from 7th to ninth grade? So favorite middle school memory.
My favorite middle school memory is probably the seventh grade Taconic trip because we only had it once, but it was really fun because like that was like the first time, or like that was one of the few times that I had gotten on like an overnight trip.
Did that like dunk contest rec center battle, except none of us could dunk, so it was us doing layups, except none of us could do like fancy layups yet. So like you were doing like between the legs probably the most fancy, and I was like, I'd like stand behind the backboard and like shoot it over, and that'd be my fancy layup. And you guys gave me 10s for that, so I tied with you, which was crazy. But yeah, that was a fun moment.
in 8th grade, Isaiah like bit a pen and it exploded in his mouth in English class.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's theater shows, just a bunch of theater shows. I'll take Robin Hood, seventh grade, because that was my first one.
Okay. I would say my favorite memory from 7th through ninth grade is walking through the park with Eric Jew. Every single time it's been
Never happened.
walking through the park.
We've never walked 7th through ninth.
Oh, that happened in 11th grade, guys.
All right, next question.
Biggest change between 7th and 12th grade?
I think it's that I decided in 7th grade that if I didn't like talking to a person, I wouldn't push myself to talk to them. Like if I saw them in the hallways and they said hi to me, I would leave it at that. I wouldn't try to make conversation with them even though I didn't like talking to them. I think that's one thing that I learned a lot. Like
Having friends? But like you're more independent, you're more confident in like going out and like meeting new people. It's like, yeah, you're grown up.
I think that I take myself less seriously now than I did in 7th grade, which hopefully means that I'm less annoying than I was in 7th grade, but who knows?
Homosexuality, that's a big change. Wasn't gay and now I am.
What advice would you give to your 7th grade self?
Advice to my 7th grade self? My advice to my 7th grade self is stick up to Charles, because Charles is low-key, like no disrespect to Charles, but like he doesn't have that much bigger of a build than you. But like don't stick up to Anthony Wayne, because that man is like massive, and you will you will not survive the next day. So like you gotta know who you can stand your ground to. You gotta pick your battles and run away from the ones you can't beat. That's my advice to my 7th grade self.
If you're not going to get the information before 12 a.m., just go to sleep, because you're not going to learn it afterwards. Like, it's not worth the struggle. Just sleep.
would tell my 7th grade self to take herself less seriously and to like have more fun with things, I guess, and not be so like just like intense, I guess. I don't know.
Kind of beating a dead horse here, but like go make some friends, loser.
I would say stop worrying so much, especially like what other people think of you. Just like do what you want to do, and then let the people who also like that stuff come to you, and really like be your own self, and then like grow your whole like, you know, social life around what you want to do.
I think it's to also just prepare yourself for like future moments, like be able to be open to a lot of things. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was kind of just closed off to a lot of clubs and a lot of like different sports and stuff because I didn't really know if I want to do it. I was like not really committed to anything, and I wish that like thinking back, I should have like tried more things, joined different clubs, and yeah, that's probably something I want to keep in mind when I go to college as well.
My advice would be, don't be scared of anyone because you're the baddest, okay? That's my advice.
Good advice.
Thank you.
What's your favorite memory of all of Hunter?
I think maybe my favorite Hunter memory is last year during Gov when we had newspaper days every Friday. So we created like a bingo with different things people in the class would do on newspaper days. Like Myra sits on the floor and eats carrots, and then we would pass them around before the newspaper day, and then you would cross them off, and like you would just say bingo if you got it. And at first our teacher, Miss Chapnick, didn't know about it, but then she found out like halfway through the year, and then she created one for herself to do on newspaper days, and that was really fun.
Probably just like the best day I had was probably just Spirit Day of junior year. Like that was the last like big like school spirit activity we had before Corona shut everything up.
But I feel like semi and like going home after semi and just like everyone wearing really fancy dresses and like walking through the streets of Manhattan, I think that's like one of probably my favorite memory. Also just seeing like Mr. Cartwright dance like in the middle of like the dance floor that was at semi, because there's like a ring of teachers that were just there and sort of like, you know, like doing the like bob where they just sort of like bob to the music while talking to each other. Just seeing that in the middle of the dance floor was hilarious. That's like one of my favorite moments that I'll never forget.
I would think maybe freshman year we went to the championship for our lacrosse game. What?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In like 9th grade, we had a sub in music class one day. I think it was Mr. Mengus, and every time he turned to the board, Elijah would get on the ground and try to do as many push-ups as he could, and then he would go back into his chair. And so it was just like a fun game. And then, yeah, I think that's all.
I think my favorite Hunter memory is like when everyone's in the hallways. I don't know. I just feel like because everyone like right after class or like when it's lunchtime and everyone's like in the hallway. I don't know. It just makes me feel like we're all together, and I think that's nice because then right after that, like everyone goes to do their own thing. So I like being in the hallways.
9th grade championship year. We were on our way back from losing the big game against FDA, and nobody was talking on the bus for like 30 minutes. And then, I don't know, coach said some dumb stuff, and then everybody started dying, and we had a great time, and all the seniors were crying, but by the end, everyone was laughing. It was very fun.